Trời ơi.
Stream is starting, the captain coder at the helm. Being water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves to quote
morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. Captain Coder here on this beautiful Monday. Good morning. It's great to have all you beautiful people here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope you have a beautiful month. I hope you're having a beautiful year. I hope you're having a beautiful life. Shy Programmer, it's so great to see you. Solomon, welcome back to the stream. Clayman, congratulations on your number 2. Sorry, I know Clayman, I know I said if you're not first, you're last, but that's just not true. If you're not first, you're just not first. You can be number 2, you can be number 3, you can be number 4, you can be number 5, you could be number 6, you could be number 7, you could be number 8, you could be number 9, you could be number 10, you could be number 11, you could be number 12, you could be number 13, you could be number 14, you could be number 15, you could be number 16, you could be number 17, you could be number 18, you could be number 19, you could be number 20, you could be number 21, you could be number 22, you could be number 20. Can you imagine? That's the whole stream, just 3 hours of that. Just 3 hours of that. It's great to have you here, Shy Programmer. Great to see you. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Dirty Puddle, welcome back to the stream. I'm glad that's just a name and not a reality. Glad it's just a name and not a... Oh, I hope it's just a name and not a reality. Dirty Puddle, I hope you've been well. It's great to see you again. Lance with the hat redeemed. Sorry, I forgot the hat. Let's get that hat stack started. Boom. Boom. Oh, yeah. Fits like a hat. Like a hat, everybody. Code Monk, welcome back to the stream. It's always a pleasure to have you here. That hat, Shy Programmer. Corfless, thank you for the hat. Boom. Hat number 2. Hat number 2, let's get it started. It's nice to get all those programming powers in before we even have to start here. Corfless, it's always a pleasure to have you here. I hope your school year is wrapping up. I hope everything's going well. How many weeks you got left of school before you start? You're starting I think you might have called it, can't remember what you call it, like an apprenticeship, an internship. I can't remember what it is. 1 week left. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Sidian, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us on this beautiful day. Sidian, I hope you've been well. Sidian, the provider of that intro song, everybody. The intro was I believe it was generated by Sidian. We love it. Lance, it's great to have you here. I hope things are going well. I don't know if you're working or not, but it's always a pleasure to have you here. I know you do night shifts a lot. Dramulks, always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. Folks, thank you guys so much for joining me here on this beautiful morning. Any day I can get up and code. It's a beautiful day. It's 10 times as good. It's 10 times as beautiful. 11 times as beautiful. 12 times as beautiful. 13 times as beautiful. 14 times as beautiful. 15 times as beautiful. 16 times as beautiful. 17 times as beautiful. 18 times as beautiful. 19 times as beautiful. 20 times as beautiful. When we got all you beautiful people here. All you beautiful people here. Have you given names to your hats? No, my hats don't have any names. Can we start giving them names? Call this one. We got Freddy. We got Teddy. We got Jetty. We got Seti. We got Nettie. You know, it goes on and on and on. Mooniz, welcome back to the stream. Congratulations on your number 9. You know, Mooniz, Dramulks beat you here today. Dramulks beat you. You have control break to stop the infinite light. We're caught. It's luckily we wrote it as a recursive function, so we'll get a Stack Overflow eventually and we'll just break out of it. Now, one of the benefits. All right, well, what are we doing today, folks? What are we working on? Let's come on over here. I thought this was hilarious. Someone posted this on our Discord. The XKCD happened to be about loops, and then Sidian, I believe you were the one. I gotta go look. I gotta pull it up here. Sidian's working on the mechanically challenged. Hang on, I said, what are we going to work on? And I didn't say what we're going to work on. Where'd my Discord go? Discord, there you are. Sidian, I believe you took this boat and turned it into your character model here on your slopes. This cracks me up. Look at this. Sidian took this in Sidian's implementation for mechanically challenged. You're the boat. Look, you're the boat. Look at the boat go. Cracked me up. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Sidian, you slay me. Best slope ever, yeah. We got that 360 sloping. 360 no slope. All right, we're working on our tactics game editor here. Mooniz, I hope you've been well. Welcome back. All right, so we have last time our hero had finished implementing the drag and drop tooling, so we could select, we could drag, we could drop to move this stuff around like so. So we could do this sort of thing. We could do non-contiguous selections. We can do contiguous selections. We could basically select a bunch of stuff. Redmer, welcome back to stream. Great to have you here. And we decided the next thing we really want to be able to do is have an undo redo. We need to have undoing and redoing. So Control Z, Control Shift Z here. So if I were to do something like this, take this, move it out here, it'd be really, really nice to have a Control Z to have it undo that step there. And the main reason, the main motivation for this is it's really easy to make a mistake. Let's say I have two sections like this. I want to move this section and I accidentally dropped it over there. It actually erases that section there. So we need to figure out how to do an undo from that point. I don't think it's going to be that hard. Control C, Control V, Control X. Copy, cut, and paste would be a good feature to add in as well. It actually wouldn't be that hard to add that in here. That's on our to-do list, and we can go find that to-do list on our, let's go pull up our GitHub. If we go to the GitHub here, you'll see in our issues, that's one of the issues. We have to implement copy, cut, and paste. I don't think that would be that hard to do. We need like one more little layer when we paste that doesn't have it paste over anything initially, and then you move it around. I don't think that would be too difficult to implement, but I think getting this undo redo is going to be important because as we add in more features, having undo and redo set up so that those features, when you add in that new ability, just adding that in as you go. It's basically part of the process here. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to implement this using a command-esque pattern. All right, so we're going to be using the command pattern here. Redmer spotting the fancy mug. We do have the fancy mug. We gotta have a fancy mug command. You know, we need something like a mug command. What would the mug command do? You got a fancy mug, and if you know, on the days where I have the fancy mug, it provides, you know, the bonus fancy mug. I don't know. Either that or I just mug you. Gotta get that mug in. Can I find the button without? No, I had to look. Mad bugging. All right. So I don't know what's wrong with me this morning. What we need? We need the mug command. Yeah. I got to figure out what the heck would a mug command do? All right. Let's keep going here. Let's start going here. I actually haven't done anything yet. All right. So I want to implement this using the command pattern. So in our tool, I want to be able to equip it to the famous hydrate. Oh, I like that. Take a sip, you know, mug. It'd be the dehydrate command because we're drinking coffee. Coffee, maybe tea. Certainly not a hydration liquid there. Coffee not known for its hydration properties at all. The opposite, in fact. Okay. What we want to look into, and we're gonna find that the way we do our figure is gonna need some help here, I believe. But our editor, let's go into our board editor. I believe the undo and redo needs to happen at this level. And we need to have, I'm gonna do it, the way I plan to do it is having there's two ways we could do it. There's kind of two ways we could do it. There's many ways we could do it. But the idea that I have is to have two things. We have our undo. We're going to use two stacks. All right, so we're going to have two stacks. Not one stack, not three stacks, two stacks, two sticky stacks. Okay, two stacks. One of them is going to be our undo stack. Okay, so as we take actions, every time we take an action, we put something in the undo stack. Okay. When we do an undo action, we take the element from our undo stack and we put it into our redo stack. our redo stack. Okay. I gotta get better at writing here. All right, so we have our undo stack. When we do an undo, it puts it in our redo stack. When we perform a regular action, it will actually clear out our redo stack. Okay, so actions go into our undo stack. If we undo, it puts it here. If we redo, it just puts it back into the undo stack. So that way we can redo, we can undo, we can redo. Once we do something, once we do something, you can't redo again. That's right. If you do, you can't redo. But if you undo, you can redo until you do. Yeah. Like the dodo bird. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the plan I have.
You in the back. Pay attention.
That's right. Pay attention to this. If you want to know how to do, you want to know how to undo, you want to know how to redo, and you want to know how to do. Look, everybody do-dos. Is that what that book is called? Or is it nobody do-dos? I don't know. All right. Sorry. All right. Whew. Ha. He. Okay. He. We need this idea of when an action is performed. We're going to send it to our board editor. Rather than just applying it. So our selection tool performs this thing. It's going to create, rather than just adding the selection on this drop, this needs to actually create a command that it's going to send off to our tool. Let me think here. And in this case, the command does this thing. It performs it, and then our command needs to have sort of what is the inverse of this thing? How would we remove that thing? How would we undo that thing? It's going to be a stack of commands. All right, so which essentially have an execute. Essentially, yes, they're going to be actions. They're going to be actions. They have like an invoke. And the action here is how do we undo or redo a thing? So the way I'm thinking about doing it is having a function called do and perform, execute. So the typical, let's look at the typical command pattern. All right, this is typically way the command pattern works here. Let's see if this has a good image of it. All right, so we have what's called a command. That is, oops, this guy here. All right, so you have an interface that says, how do I do an action, right? How do I do this thing? And so we're going to implement several instances. So we could do it like this. A command could have an execute. We could also make it, one thought I have is a command have a do command and an undo. So all actions that we want to be able to perform have two, they know how to perform the action and also reverse the action. This is how I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to make mine slightly different than the traditional command pattern, but the idea is we create this command, we send it off, and then when we execute it, we know how to remove it. The alternative would be everything we do, we have a select action, and then we have an undo select action. All right, so this is sort of like, this works really nice if you have stuff happening. If you're performing things, you need to propagate these out to different devices that are listening. You want to have this command happen everywhere, not just in one place. Maybe you want to be able to have an action happen multiple times, keeping stuff in sync. So you can see here that these are the different types of commands that can happen. And we just send them off here, and then we just give this off to a thing that knows how to perform these. I am planning to implement mine slightly differently, as they'll have a command, or what I'm going to call is a board edit command, something like that. And it's going to have two things. So we're going to have two things here. Let's create a, this feels testable as well. So I think it's about time to start writing some tests. It feels testable because we can say, okay, given a board, given a command, how should it modify our board when we do it, when we undo it. So I think this is a thing that we can actually test rather than just going full implementation on it. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm feeling like a lot of this stuff could be abstracted out, but we're going to write let's create a new project or a new module. We're going to create a new module here. Okay. Right now I have web editor here. A lot of these things I feel like can be abstracted away, pulled out. So instead of just having web editor, I'm going to create one that's called, I have Captain Coder Tactics.board. I want to create one that's called board editor and start pulling things out that can be tested nicely into that, starting with our undo and redo. So let me come over here. Maybe I should do it this way. I've never actually done it. All right, let's see. How do I add? Can I do it from VS Code here? Do I have an add? I want to modify my solution to add to my solution new project. Okay, let's see what happens. I want to add a new project here. I've never done this through VS Code. That's not true. It's been a long time since I've done this through VS Code. And I want to make this a class lib. Oh, we should be on C#. That's interesting. Class library. Okay, so we're going to do a class library. Razor class library. Ooh, this is interesting. I should look into this. Fast chat, it's great to see you. How the heck have you been? Welcome back to the stream. It's wonderful to see you. Okay, so we're gonna create a project here. The Captain Coder Tactics engine. Captain Coder Tactics might be all I want to call it here. Engine. That's usually how I do it from the command line. Yeah, Redmer, I usually do it from the command line. I'm trying to learn Visual Studio, so I've decided this month, the month of May, I'm going to be forcing myself to use Visual Studio to see if I can learn it, see how I like it. Busy programming in Java, fast chat. I know a lot of people hate Java. I'm not a Java hater. I'm not a Java enjoyer, but I think Java is a great enterprise tool. That said, I haven't really used Java since Java 8. Throws a hash at, yeah, Java Sharp. We need Java Sharp, yeah. Captain Coder Tactics Engine dot editor. Let's go with dot editor. All right. Let's click next. Let's see if this does what I wanted. I think this actually does everything I want it to do here. Did you know that Java is also a name of an island in Indonesia? Fauzan. I did not know that. And also, Fauzan, welcome to the stream over on YouTube. Great to have you with us on this beautiful Monday. Skydriver asked, how are you today? I'm doing absolutely fabulous, Skydriver. I'm glad you're doing well. And Intensicode, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. All right, so this might be the first time I've added a project that way. I thought that was you, Corpless. No worries. Thank you for watching over on the YouTubes. Okay. Okay. Public class. So I want to create an interface here. All right. This is going to be in our editor. We're going to create an interface called board edit command. So this is a thing that modifies a board. And so it has a do and an undo. Board edit command. And what's interesting about this, we're going to have a public void do. All right. This performs the action. Public void undo. This undoes the action. So board edit command. And I feel like this is really all we need. All right, so I have a board edit command. Let's implement some of these different things it needs to be able to do, and then we're gonna wrap them up. Have a beautiful lunch. It's Redmer. Thank you so much for hanging out. Java 8 doesn't count as Java anymore. Yeah, I've heard there's some really great things that have been introduced. We're on like Java 21 or something now. What's the latest version of Java? What's the current version of Java? Current version of Java. The most recent version, yeah, we're on version 21, it looks like. 23. Java 23, as of January 24, the specification for Java 20 has not been finalized. Okay. So we're on Java 21, it looks like. Java 22 was released in March. All right, so Java 22 just came out. So there's been quite a few versions of Java since Java 8. I don't know if, since Oracle took over, a lot of big changes have really happened. I've done very little with it since Oracle became the owner. It used to be Sun Microsystems. For little known fact. All right, this class should be changed. The name of this class should be board edit command. All right, let's add a dependency. How can I do this? Add project reference. All right, so it references our tactics and probably common, but we'll find out. We need common in a little bit. What is in common? Just some JSON stuff. Okay. Shy Program, enjoy your lurk, my friend. Good luck at the store. Enjoy whenever you happen to get to drink. Okay, so we have a do, we have an undo, we have a redo. The different actions we can take. Let's start off with board edit command. Oh, you're gonna get a cola. A nice fizzy beverage. All right, so we're gonna go with all right, hang on. Let's look at the different things that we currently can do. All right, so we want to be able to add tiles. All right, so we're gonna add tiles. If we go and we look at in our board, see, I'm gonna be pulling these things out. This will be good. Create tiles tool. Create tiles command. All right, so we're gonna do a Shift F2, create tiles command. Okay. And create tiles command, let's make this a public. Create tiles command is going to implement our, I need to call it I called it just board command. It's an interface, C#, we like, so notice I was getting a warning here saying, hey, by the way, this is an interface, we should start with I. All right, so in C#, Microsoft Guidelines likes to have that, so we're gonna do a board edit command here. What are the things that we need to have this do? So create tiles command, I'm gonna say that we need to have a board. It's gonna be the board. I'm gonna make this a record. Then we're gonna need a board to edit. All right, board to edit. Let's call it to edit. Or we could just call it board. This is a board data, by the way. So this is the board that we're gonna modify. It wants us to import that. Get rid of these things here. We need to know the rectangle that we're gonna add in. So our create tiles has a rectangle. So let's look at our create tiles tool. It has a start, bounding box, selection. Yeah, so this is going to have a bounding box, area, selection. So this is the tiles we're gonna add here. Those are the tiles we're gonna add here. Okay. Enjoy your lurk. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you so much for letting us know, Falzon. Okay. So in my tests now, I want to add a test. Let's create a folder for this. Can I create a folder when I do this? Wonder if this will add a folder, and let's find out. This is going to be our board editor / create tiles command dot should create tiles command should hyper. Welcome to the stream. It did, if I actually spelt it correctly, it would have been good. Hyper, welcome back. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome into the stream. Okay, so this is going to be a test. I'm gonna import, let's take a look. I like to, still what's at the top of these, what's still these. Okay. Test, I suppose I'm always torn. I feel like maybe we should be in this namespace dot tests like that. I feel like I need to go update my namespace. These are all slightly off. Oh, am I actually on this branch? I am. Okay. Source file can contain. Oh, I have this up here already. Okay, there we go. So let's add in a test here. And the test here is the thing that we're testing happens to be the do and undo of a create tiles command. So when we do it, it adds the tiles. When we undo it, it removes those tiles. So fact. We'll do a public void. Create tiles command should add tiles. All right. So let's construct one of these. Great. Oh, we need a board. So do a board. Empty board. Let's make an empty board here. And we'll do our create tiles command. Ooh, we got to add a reference here. Our tests don't have a reference to it, so let's add a project reference. We're gonna have this reference our editor. Okay. Now we can do create tiles command. We're gonna create one under test, and it's gonna be a new create tiles command, and it needs the board. So this is gonna be our empty board. And we're gonna be doing it on a selection here. We could potentially parameterize this. For now, I'm gonna do a new bounding box. Hang on. New bounding box, there we go. And bounding box, we give it a width, starting position, let's go with 3, 4, 5 by 5, like this. So it's gonna have this as our space. Under test.do, it's gonna perform this action. Okay. And then the side effects of this, so this is sort of our arrange, act, and then what are the consequences? What are the side effects of doing this? Yeah, well, one of the biggest victories was when I was working on a decently complex WPF UI and I wanted to undo redo because of how it was built. I was done in 30 minutes. Nice. That does sound like a victory. Anytime you can produce something, like add a feature in a relatively small amount of time, that's always a win. Always a good thing. Okay. Snabble, hope you've been well. Welcome back to the stream. And now we want to do an assert here. So empty board. And we should say here, what are the tiles that we contain? All right, tiles dot count dot should be. All right, so 5 by 5. Let's go with something a little bit smaller. Let's go with 3 by 2. So we should have 6 tiles added to it. Should be 6 tiles added in there. Empty board, and then dot tiles dot should contain. Is there an easy way to check all of these things? Should contain. Is there a contain all? Should be subset of. All right, expected tiles. All right, so I'm gonna create a thing called expected tiles, which is gonna be a little bit noisy, but that's okay. So it's gonna be our positions, expected tiles, and then we wanna iterate through each of these positions. I'm gonna manually write each one of these down here. All right, the positions that we're gonna add in. I hate this for the formatting it wants to do in this. Always seems to drive me nuts. So it's a 3, 4, because this is the top left corner. We're doing 3 wide, so we should get 4, 5. Okay, so the format's doing okay on this one. Then this would be 3. We can copy this whole row. And then our Y value should increase by 1. Oops. Yeah, on all of these. 5, 5, 5, like this. So doing this should result in our tiles, adding tiles this way. So relatively simple test. We have a little bit of a thing here. We're gonna run this, it's gonna fail. So we can open up our Test Explorer. Is there a hotkey for my Test Explorer? Oh, I have it over here. All right, let's go ahead and run them all. See if it opens it up. We should get a failure here. "11 not run." Interesting. 1 fail. All right, so I'm assuming it's this one. Sure enough, the create tiles here is failing. Let's see if we can implement that now. So this one should be relatively straightforward. Board.add. Ooh, interesting. Board dot. Oh, I call it create empty tiles. And I can do selection dot positions. Okay. And now I can run this again. I think this is all we have to do. The performing it just adds them in. Okay. Do does this. All right, let's look at what undo should do now. All right. So do a fact public void. Undo should remove tiles on undo. Okay. Add tiles should add tiles on do. So let's do the inverse of this. We'll do a range here, board data, starting board like this. Let's actually put some stuff on it because this is an interesting side. There's an interesting challenge here. There's an interesting challenge here. There's this interesting edge case. If we add tiles that were already there, when we undo, we don't actually want to remove all the tiles that were there. Remove tiles on undo. So let's create a board here. And we are going to give this board some starting positions. Okay, so let's create a bounding box here. Bounding box from, let's see here. Can I do it? I think I might need to have the expansion there either way. Semicolon. We're gonna do a new bounding box. Let's do 3, 4, 3, 2. Positions. I think I have to expand this because it needs an IEnumerable. Yeah, I could do 2 something here. Like this. All right, so this is gonna get these positions in here. So these are the positions we'll start with. I'll do it at 1, 2, like this. We're gonna add some tiles. All right, so we're gonna do a create tiles here. This is our under test. And we'll go ahead and add some tiles in. We want it to overlap a little bit. So this produces, well, I suppose I could do a 2 string that would produce this as well. 1, 2. And it's 3 wide, so I should be able to go over to 3, 2, and let's make this thing 2 by 3. Oh, we have to tell it which board, so this is our starting board, and then a new bounding box. This is what we're gonna add in. Why am I starting board. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do this thing. All right, so this is our arrangement. We perform this do. And the thing that we want to test is the undo here. We want to assert that the starting board is in this state. So I want to create a copy. Do I have a clone board? Starting board dot clone copy. I don't. It might be nice to have a copy command that actually makes a duplicate so we can get the original. I can also do this original state is I could just produce this thing again. Like this. It might make sense to have a function that goes ahead and produces one of these as well. What I want to, after I do my undo, is my starting board dot should be my original state. We do it, we undo it, it should go back to the original state. So there's something that would be nice to have with our board to be able to make a copy. So I can say, get me my original copy. Because the easiest way I can think to implement this is just to keep a copy of the original board. And then what you do is you just sort of say, oh, by the way, be this board instead. Be this board instead. It's a little bit expensive because you're storing all the different board states as you go. So it's expensive from a memory standpoint to keep all of those rather than just undo. Like we'd have to check, say, okay, what was in these tiles originally? So we could just keep a snapshot of those tiles previously. Okay. So I believe if we run this, it should fail. And it's going to because we have it, calling undo throws an exception. So it definitely fails. So the easy way to undo this won't work. The naive thing of saying, well, board.remove tiles of my selection here won't work because it removes too much. It removes too much because those were overlapping. When they're overlapping, it doesn't, it's gonna, oh, I didn't mean to hit a run there. I meant to hit a run here. We're still gonna fail, and we'll see if we go to this test. It says they were not the same. I didn't get an exception, but they're not the same. And we could potentially have a little thing here that shows the two boards, and you'll see them removed. So I think we have a 2 ASCII. We can have a custom message here. I feel like we've done this a couple times. Might make sense to create a little helper, compare boards error message type thing. Written it there. I'm gonna go ahead and write the helper now though. Yeah, error message. All right, so what I want to do, I want to pull this out into a little helper method. Let's create a helper in board. Create a new file. Call this error messages. Make this a static. We'll just put this in tests. Make this a internal static class, public static string, board, what would be board mismatch, board mismatch, board compare error. And we'll do board data should be board data. So this would be expected. And this would be actual. All right, so we'll put them in that order. And then we can use this error message here like this. 1 second. Why don't I see? Why does it always do that? Show. All right. And it doesn't have the to ASCII. So we'll have to. Where's that coming from? That should come from. There we go. Oh, this namespace is poorly named. Let's go find that. It's going to cause an issue. I'm going to leave it for now. And now over here in my test, the error message can be error messages dot board compare error, and we give it expected and actual. Expected original state, but the actual is starting board. So now we should get a good error message, or a not good, a better error message on our test failure here. And so we'll say expected this, but was this, because we accidentally deleted some stuff here. You're using TIC80's font in your terminal? Fancy. TIC80's font I find to be really fun, but when it's slightly obnoxious. Slightly, like, but that's part of the fun, right? Part of the fun of the TIC80 is it being obnoxious there. Okay, so the naive solution here, what I'm going to do is, it would be nice, it'd be easiest in my mind to write this implementation just to store the original board, and then we can actually just return the board itself. Part of me is thinking, Poostack, thank you for the hat. Let's get a hat added to this stack. All right. There we go, Poostack. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for the bonus hat. 1 hat. 2 hat. There we go. 4 hats deep. Thank you so much for the hats. Poostack, I hope you've been well. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. Happy Wednesday. I think I've been saying happy Monday. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so this isn't going to work. We need to actually save the original board when we do the do. Okay, so part of me wants to write a very simple thing in our board here. Let's go over to our board data. We have a board editor extensions. This might be, might move that over. Board editor extensions. Do I have a copy board? Kind of. I have a get selection, right? So we can make copy board be a get selection on the entire thing. I'm gonna add in here public static board data copy. And this is going to say, given a board data here, just gonna copy the entire board. Okay. And so we're gonna create a new board data copy. And I think the easiest way to do it, let's write a test for it. I'm gonna write a test. So we're doing a copy. can't just, I could just write it, but let's write a test just to give ourselves some minor confidence here. Board editor should, and we're just going to do a copy board. Public void copy board. Okay. And we can create a board like this. All right, I'll do a board like this. All right, under test. All right, so we have a board like this. To add in a like this. All right, so we make a board. We will copy the board. Board data, copy. Under test dot copy. Right, so it should make a whole copy of the board. We should be able to do a copy dot should be under test. So they should be identical, but modifying the copy shouldn't affect the original. All right, so we make a copy, but I want to modify the original as well. I'm going to modify the copy actually. Copy dot create empty tile at position 0, 0. All right, so we modify it, should copy board. So we're going to add an empty tile into it. And we should... All right, so we can sort of do this. Original state is this. What we can say is that after we copy should be original state. We create an empty tile in here. Our, I'm gonna call this to copy. To copy, after we modify it here, because we wanna make sure they're actually two different references. So they're equal, but they're different references. That's really all I need to check here. Reference. How do I do reference equals? Let's check here. C# reference compare. Forget what it is. I know I can do it. Reference equals. Copy dot reference. What isn't reference? There's no reference equals. Object dot reference equals. Okay, so this should be false. We're gonna say copy and to copy should be false. They should not be the same. Like that. All right, Mars, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day, my friend. Hello, hello. We do the create an empty tile in it. Our original state dot should not be, or we should say copy should not be original to copy here. All right, there we go. All right, so it should actually modify. Oryx, how you doing, friend? Great to see you. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a beautiful day. All right, so I think I can actually get rid of this. We're gonna say, we're going to copy. They should be a reference equal, but if we modify it, it should only modify the copy, not the original. Okay. Let's run these tests. We should have two failing tests because we're in the middle of writing remove tiles. And then we got to implement the copy here. Oh, it passes. Hang on, that doesn't make sense to me. Board editor should. It says not run. There we go. Nice and sunny with a small trip to municipality office. Interesting. All right, so this is not implemented. All right, let's do a quick implementation of this copy. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I can just do return a new board data. And the autocomplete here, oh, it is driving me crazy. We'll do tiles is equal to data.tiles. But I need to copy it. So I need to actually create a new instance of those. And then, and I actually, I'm not sure I have to do it this way, data.figures. All right, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna try this. I think this is all we need to actually implement a copy. It's like a deep copy. And as long as, so here's the thing, as long as my tiles and my figures are immutable objects, doing the copy this way is fine. If they were mutable, I'd have to do some more stuff, but they're immutable, so we should be okay, I think. Let's see if our copy bird works. Mungard, welcome to the stream. This expands the element on the right side. Okay, so it turns this into a data. So on the right side, I need a hash set. I could also do to hash set. It's shorthand for turn this into a collection and then decide which collection you want. Does it say use collection expression? Yeah, so it actually will say, hey, you should use a collection expression here instead. So if I convert it here to hash set dot says, I'll convert it to whichever type I have. So if this left side wasn't a hash set, if it was just a list, it would know which one to select. So the compiler can do some optimizations with that expansion there. That said, something I did learn is this dot here performs the whole expansion. So it's not lazy. It's not lazy. So you got to be careful with that for large collections. All right, so this passes. It makes an actual deep copy. That said, it only works because position's immutable and figure is immutable. If these weren't immutable, it would be actually copying the reference of those. So we got to be a little bit careful if we ever decide to change those to be mutable types. So we're gonna do our best not to. Similarly, if I had made my board immutable and we make, as we make changes, we just produce a new board, then our undo and redo would be super easy to implement. All right, so now that I have that, I can go ahead and close that. My copy seems to be working. In my implementation of my undo here, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna, when we construct this thing, I'm gonna say original board, board data, do read only. My original board, when we start out, is just going to be board.copy, like this, board.copy. And I'm thinking, my unit test wouldn't break if it became, great question. My unit test would not break if it became mutable, right? Yeah, well, not necessarily. It would be, I think it'd be quite difficult to make it so it doesn't, so it would break if they became mutable, because I would have to make a deep copy, right? So one of the nice things here is I don't actually have to reconstruct all of the figures and things as we go down the pipeline, right? So we do try and keep things mutable as immutable as possible. Try and keep things as immutable as possible, and I like that. You're right. It may be scary. I don't know how I'd write the test to make sure that it doesn't do that without making it where it actually performs a deep copy on every single figure, every single tile. So I'm not quite sure how I would do that. Yeah. I'm not sure how I would do that, but I would have to modify it that way. All right. So one thing here that is interesting, that I might consider doing, is my do and undo should actually return a board. It'd make my undo really simple. I think it'd be really hard to do. Biffles, it's great to see you, by the way. Happy Wednesday. My undo and redo, if I had these returning a board rather than modifying a board, I'm wondering this would be easier to write, easier to test, because right now I have to like check, oh, the original board, it gets modified. And I think it would save us a little bit of trouble, because I don't have to go in and modify the original board. Instead, I can just return. So if I make my undo and redo here, return it, it'd be nice. Some of the build stuff, Smab, I've seen a few. There's some crazy stuff going on at Build. I wish I could watch more. I wish I wasn't so busy. Part of me is like, I almost for this stream was just gonna watch Build videos, but I decided I'm not good at I'm not good at reaction content. I don't feel like I'm good at reaction. I don't really feel like I want to do reaction type content, if I'm completely honest. But I've been wanting to watch them. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time when I'm on vacation next month going back and rewatching all this stuff. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. Smab, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. So I actually think I want to change this to actually return a new board data. I want it to return board data like this. What do I got to import? There we go. Groove Punk, thank you so much for the follow. Groove Punk, welcome on in. I'd like to say thank you for following me today. Groove Punk, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, welcome aboard. This could, so the thing is, what do, it could just return the modified board. It could also return a whole new board. Same with undo, it could return it. So it sort of leaves it open here. It doesn't necessarily say it has to return a new board, but it returns the data that should be used, either a modified board or the un one. Glad you're here, Groove Punk. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Welcome in. Smap says the Stephen Taub Scott Handsome and Deep Dive videos are more fun to watch. Those were very nice. I have been enjoying. I haven't watched all of them, but I've gone back and started watching those. Those have been really good. I love Stephen Taub stuff. I don't know if I've seen all of anyway. Yeah, I don't think I've seen them all. Great stuff though. Okay. All right, so I think I'm modifying this, so I need to go in and fix my tests here. All right, do actually returns a new board data. Modify updated board here. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because this is not, this now needs to, hang on, this should return a board data. And this is going to return a board data as well. So our do here actually modifies the board. What's nice about this is we could actually end up implementing this in an immutable way if we decide to change it. So this will be, go ahead and return the board that we modified here. The reason I've done this, it makes undo much easier in that I can actually just return the original board. And we can actually write an abstract like class that says, okay, all of our undos are just, we're gonna accept a board. All of our undos will always return a copy of the original board. So we can do it that way as well. I think this is gonna be the easiest way. Make the ARRY like get commands. I don't understand the question. I'm not sure what ARRY is, Solomon. I think there's a typo there. Make the array like get commands. I still don't understand. You're just saying like sequence. Yeah, snapshot it, exactly. So we snapshot the board at that moment. Exactly. So part of me is going like, oh man, it might have been nice to make our board data actually an immutable structure with an if that would do it. But I'm finally starting out some of my RTS controls. Look, Lance. Make it work, then make it pretty. Make it work, then make it pretty. Hacks, you can always start with a hack. Always start, not always. You're allowed to start with hack. So now our empty board should, our modified board here, like this. All right, so we did get a board. It did modify the original, that's okay. Group Punk, that's right. We could have done it that way. I didn't implement my board data that way. It might have been nice to do it using immutable data. The downside to doing that is you end up using up more space, like more memory. That said, these days memory is pretty cheap. I'm not sure. So I'm thinking like if I was doing it in Haskell, that would have been the way to do it. Sometimes you need to make it beautiful to see that you need it to work different. That's true. You know what, Poostek. I think you're right. We're gonna do an under test here. This is gonna return our board data actual. Here, like this would be our undo state. Not gonna actually modify the original board, so we do actual should be original state. Actual. Okay, I think this is the easiest way to do it. If it works, don't touch it. Yeah, that's part of like solid, right? The open, oh no, is that, yeah, open, the O in solid is open close principle. You know, once it works, don't ever touch it again. That's like one of the ideas. Like if you can avoid touching it, avoid touching it. Okay. Let's run the test. We might actually have a passing test here. We don't. Which is interesting. But I'm surprised we don't have the original. Oh, because I gave it starting board? No, it should actually make a copy. I'm a little confused by this. Let's look in here. We might be bringing out the debugger. This is really surprising to me. So maybe our copy doesn't work? That's weird. Under test, starting board, bounding box. Our original state, actual original state. Let's take a look here. I'm going to add a breakpoint in. Can I add a... How do I add a breakpoint? Why won't it let me add a breakpoint here? This is me oh, there it is. There it is. I'm not used to Visual Studio. We had a breakpoint in here. Let's take a look see here. Let's debug this. See if we can figure out what's going on here. All right, we're here. Actual's null, that makes sense so far. Let's look at our locals. Pull this up a little bit. Because we modified the starting board. Okay. Should make it so we can see what this is. The original state. Original state has 6. Starting board has 10. Okay. Our under test original board has 6. Okay. Let's do a step over. Your changes cannot be applied. Did I make a change? Let's do a debug again. I didn't think I might have hit enter or something. All right, we're here. Oh, maybe I made a modification there. We'll do a step over. Yeah, what the heck? You're always rebuild. Your changes cannot be applied as they are not supported by hot reload. Okay. What is going on with that?
Whoa.
Holy cannoli! The Dev Dad with the big old giant raid. Have you met Dev Dad? He is coding up a storm, you know. The Dev Dad's cool, he's great, he's grand, he's making an app. Guys, go check out the Dev Dad. Incredible father, dude, Dev Dad. Father, streamer, software developer, a trifecta of awesome. Go check out the Dev Dad making an app called Embedder in React Native. What are you waiting for? If you want to help if you want to be part of a social network that helps you build habits, go check out Embedder, folks. Dev Dad, so glad you're here. So glad you're with us. I know you're probably on dad duty if you got a raid and run. No worries. Have a beautiful day. Oh, is it just, am I not building? You want to stop debugging? It builds. I don't have any build errors. Oh, I do have a build error. It's being used by a process. The build error is that, all right, that we don't actually have any build errors. There are no build errors. The error seems to be, hey, you are debugging. So I didn't make any modifications. Let's try step over again. All right, it worked that time. I have no idea what it was complaining about. I don't think I made modifications. Maybe I didn't actually build it. Thanks, Lance. Yeah, I mostly don't watch those things. I stream for the fun. White Panther, welcome into the stream. How the heck have you been? What have you been working on, folks? I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to give you a shout out. Let me try. I need to wait just a moment here. Someone remind me, Salma, how you been? If you guys don't know White Panther is a fantastic streamer. Incredible. She's a real streamer. I'm over here, dancing around, doing stuff. She's over there making really, really cool stuff. What have you been working on? I've been making a game actually integrated with the stream. Ooh, it's chaos. Do you got any links to share with us? I'd like to check it out if you can. Let's see here. Actual. It says I have 6 tiles. What is going on? What the heck? Original state, 6 tiles. Maybe my should be is broken. All right, let's make sure these are the same. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. They have the same tiles. What about the figures? Original has 0 figures. 0 figures. How are these not the same? It's gonna pass now, isn't it? Hang on. What did I just not build? Was something not building here? Hang on. Let's run this. Oh my goodness! It just wasn't running for some reason. We'll rerun them all. I have a manual for you. Let's check it out. Panther thing. It's deliberately obscure. All right. So our tests were passing. Apparently I just wasn't building. All right, so I got confused there. So we've implemented we're working on undo and redo system for our editor tool, by the way, White Panther. And we're implementing undo redo here for the different types of things we do. So we're creating a command here that can do and undo. We're going to generate these, put them in. Let's go check this out, though. White Panther, thank you so much for sharing that. All right. I guess I should do a blur first, just to make sure. The game doesn't stop when the stream ends. Ooh, I already love this idea. What is this? Panther World is a multiplayer text-based game powered by a live coding stream. How to play: when events happen on the stream, follow channel point redemption subscriptions. A random world item will spawn in a random world zone, and a notification message will be sent to the stream. Your objective: claim items and fill up your inventory. Your objective will change as the game evolves. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Play when the stream is on. The game doesn't stop when the stream ends. Join the Claw Discord and monitor the Panther World feed to be notified of item spawns when the stream is offline. That is really cool. Holy cool. You can literally play it now and I can release items for you. All right, let me go on. I think I'm already on the Claw. I have two. Look, I'm on all the Discords, which makes it really hard to do anything. I gotta go to your Twitch chat. Okay, let's do that. All right, Twitch chat. All right, okay, got it. What is going? Oh, I'm not logged in here. Hang on, let me do it on release this. I'm not logged into my account here. I was like, why don't I have any channel points here? All right, here is a web browser. I probably shouldn't have streaming here. All right. Oh, I was too slow. Release world item in the forest zone. Items available 6 tier. Move forest. Move to forest. Oh, this is really cool. This is really neat. Oh, I like this a lot. Hey, Panther, this is awesome. What are you building it in? Is the source code available anywhere? Or is the source code, is it closed source? I always love this stuff. Folks, be sure if you want to go play the stream game, go check out White Panther. Boom. Give her some love. You see that little heart there? You won't be disappointed, I promise. I promise you won't be disappointed. The code is terrible. It's in my legacy 4-year-old Twitch bot. Gotcha. Click this heart, folks. You know you want to. You know you need to. That sounds so cool. White Panther, thank you so much for sharing this. I'm going to have to go check it out live. When you're streaming, I'm going to have to go check it out. Super cool. Thank you for the distraction. Thank you for the derailment. I don't mind. Clicking the heart will spawn items, even cooler, and then chaos will ensue. Nice. Yeah, of course. That's really cool. We got to get you in here for one of our showcases sometime to show off all the cool stuff you do. All right, so this command is working. I'm gonna go ahead and do a commit here. Get status. Get a bunch of stuff. I say that and then I'm like, I actually don't even know when my next showcase is gonna be because of I wasn't able to do one this month. Next month, we're doing our game jam. So, folks, if you guys don't know, Captain Coder's learning you a game jam. It's coming up next month. It's coming up in a few, not even a month away at this point. Sorry for all the sidetracking here. I know we were making some good progress. If you guys want to check out, all right. Here we're gonna see what Captain Coder's learning you a game jam is all about here. All right, I got a full screen. We got an enhance button. To Captain Coder's Learn You a Game Jam. I am Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is a computer science educator, and Captain Coder wants you to learn something new about game dev, whether it's your first time programming, whether it's the first time doing pixel art, whether it's the first time making music, whether it's the first time working on a team. I want you to learn something new because in this community, we learn and code and grow together as a crew. In this game jam, the goal isn't to make make the best game possible. The goal is to learn as much as possible, and I believe you can do it. And when you submit a game to this game jam, you are encouraged to also submit a devlog, blog, or vlog describing the resources you used, what you learned, and how others can utilize it. That said, just by submitting a devlog, vlog, or blog, you are entered to win $50. We're going to be doing 5 drawings here. 5 unique people will win $50 just by learning something new and sharing it with the community. Additionally, myself and 2 other guest judges will be reviewing all of the devlog, vlogs, or blogs to see which one we think is the most educational, and one beautiful person is going to win $250, and it could be you just for learning something. So join the Discord, check us out on Twitch, and we hope you have a wonderful time with this game jam. We'll see you there. All right, so Captain Coder's Learning Your Game Jam coming up in 28 days, right around the corner, June 19th to July 3rd. Come on, folks. You know you want to get in there. You don't want to learn something new. Check out Captain Coder's Learn Your Game Jam. We had a blast with it last time. And I know the video says one person will win 250. There's actually 2 prizes, 2 $250 prizes. Also, be sure to submit a jam theme suggestion. I need to reorganize this page a little bit. Go check it out, folks. Captain Coder's Learn You a Game Jam. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. All right. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. I wanted to make a commit. This commit's hard to do. Let's do a format here because I made so many different changes. We should break it up into a couple commits here. Because we implemented like a copy command. We implemented a bunch of different things here. Get status, make sure my format. All right, so there's some weird stuff with my format. Let's make sure we still build with those changes. We do. Our test should still pass. Let's make sure, yeah, our tests continue to pass even with those changes. Let's look at what those changes were. Might have to zoom out a little bit. Just some white space changes. White space. White space. Okay. So those. And then the formatter wanted to do it that way. That's okay, I suppose. Okay. Let's add those in. Let's undo these. Let's figure out some ways to break down this commit into a couple smaller pieces. This here is the actual this is the actual code. This is the actual implementation we wrote. We added in this error message here. Let's undo these stage commits. So this error message, we'll do a chore add error messages helper to helper class utility class. All right, we'll go ahead and add that in. We wrote some tests in it. This is our copy board. All right, so we want this board editor extensions. All right, so these are the 2 different things we did. Okay, let's add a white space in there. I like that. Having a space between the last curly brace and the start of the next function. I like that. So this here is feature at implement board data.copy. Okay, and then this is the actual code that we care about here. All right. Feature implement create tiles command. So those were the 3 different things that we did. Let's get those pushed up so anyone can find them if they need to. So we're doing these incremental steps here. All right. So for being here to witness us finish those unit test points, and all 125 points to all you beautiful people. We've been going for almost 90 minutes. So we're gonna take a quick break here in a moment. I'm gonna get myself some more bean water. I've been drinking water, a bunch of water. I've had 16 ounces of water here. We're gonna up our water game a little bit. All right. When we come back, I want to take this command and add it into our web editor. So we separate this out so it can be tested. Now I want to add it into my web editor and actually be able to use the Control Z and the Control Shift Z, redo and undo. We might add buttons in to start just to get them going, but I want to make it so when I actually perform this here, I want to be using this command when I do the drag and release, and then I can do a Control Z to actually go back to the previous state. So we're gonna figure out how we're gonna use our command to do that. We're gonna do it through the interface rather than through the exact command itself, but that's gonna be the command that we produce. All right, so don't go anywhere. We're gonna get ourselves some bean water. We're gonna get ourselves some fresh water. Captain Coder return. Hang tight, everybody. I'll be back in a flash. Whoosh. Our dopamine. Oh, I got that fix. Whoa. Pagorley, welcome back. Thank you so much for the dopamine, folks. Captain Coder's back. Sorry it took me so long. We're gonna get some stretches in. We're gonna take care of ourselves. Look, Captain Coder loves you, which means you should love you, which means if you love you, you gotta take care of that body. You gotta love that body the way it deserves to be loved. So I'm gonna encourage you, I'm gonna implore you, I'm gonna engorge you to stand up with the captain. Get on up. Get on up. We're gonna get some stretches in. We're gonna take care of our bodies. Get your whole family in. Maybe you're at work, get your hey co-workers, captain's about to stretch. Let's get some stretches in here. Gotta take care of ourselves, gotta love ourselves. We're gonna get some stretch in. I'm gonna encourage you to stand on up with the captain. Stand on up, reach up on into the sky. Get that nice stretch. Oh yeah. Oh, arms out at the side. We're gonna do some trunk twists to the left. Oh, to the right. Oh yeah. Just nice and back. Nice and slow. If you feel any pain, stop. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself at all. Nice and slow, back and forth. Feet shoulder width apart. Oh. Get those arms up. We're going to lean to the left now. Lean to the right now. Just taking care of ourselves. Loving ourselves the way we deserve to be loved. You guys are all lovely people. I hope you're taking a chance here to get your body stretched out. Oh yeah, let's get some shoulder rolls. Take those shoulders, move them up, back, and down. We're going to roll them. Back. 2, 3, 4. Add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. 2, 3, 4, roll them forward. 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Let's do it. Shake it out. Shake it out. Oh, let's get this head. Get some neck rolls in. Lean that head to the left. Oh, roll it across to the right. Oh, roll it back. Bring it around the back. Oh, yeah. And back. Oh, just taking care of ourselves. Oh, bring that head up. Didn't that feel good? Thank you guys so much for joining me in those stretches. You beautiful people. All you beautiful people for joining me in those stretches. 125 points to all of you. We're going to hop back in here. I realized there's a pretty nasty error. It's a pretty nasty bug. Lance, thank you for the bonus hat. Let's get another hat added onto this head here. Ooh, almost dropped it. Almost dropped it. Let's get you a special hat. Get our Santa Barbara Adventures hat there. Thank you for the hat. Walks in with another hat. Let's get another hat added on here. Boom. Thank you so much for the hat. Shy programmer. Only an hour and a half left, and then you get to do another hat. All right. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm realizing there's a glaring bug with my redo. There's kind of a glaring bug with my redo. And this is interesting. It's quite interesting, the glaring error we have. Well, I don't know if it's actually that glaring. There is an error in this. If we do, undo, and redo, I think it won't work. Maybe it will. Actually, maybe it will. You know what? I actually think it will be okay. The problem comes if we do like several things. Our undos are going to stop. Our undos will continue working. Then if we do a redo, it goes back to kind of the original board here. Because we are modifying the original board here and not making a copy. Part of me feels like we should just make a copy and then modify that and then return the copy. It shouldn't modify the original board. There's a weird error. There's a weird bug that presents itself where we actually don't get the modified change if we've done a bunch of stuff, especially if we're returning a new board. So part of me wants to do something kind of crazy. I don't know if it's actually that crazy. When we do this operation, really want to do the original board board data, new board. We copy the original board and then we modify the new board dot I think this might be the simplest solution. Keep it in mind, large boards might be a hefty copy. But we can, it's let's run our test. Our tests are going to continue to pass. Can I write a test that will show this issue? I think it'd be pretty easy to write a test that would show the issue if I do several changes, do some undos, and then do a redo. It will, we want to end up at a specific state. So I think this is going to be sort of an important thing here. Before I make this change, let me go ahead and write a test that will show this issue. Let me write a test that will demonstrate this issue here. Let's go into our create tile command, and we'll do fact void do and undo should be it's like we want to do several undos. I'm not sure what to call this. Several do's and undos. So we want to create a couple board modifications here. Let's create a board data original board. Sorry, we'll call this empty board. We have an empty board. If I make several stateful commands, create tiles command first. These are all going to be, so we empty board. See, it's going to modify our empty board here. Yeah. So it's going to modify the empty board. It's like our original board. Bounding box. New. Bounding box. Let's add in 0, 0, 2, 2. All right. This is going to do this command. We'll do a first dot do. This returns board data modified or after first. Okay. Let's do a create tile command second. We're going to continue. We're going to do after first new bounding box. We'll do one at 2, 2, 2 by 2. I think we can demonstrate it with just these two. After second. Okay, and this would be second. Now, if we undo twice, all right, so we should do after second dot undo. What if we maintain the board? Let's see. All right, so this should be second dot undo. Undo second. Board data undo first. So the order here, undo first. If we do, so it's like a series of undos and then redos here. So if we do first board data after undo, redo, it's going to be our first dot do here. After first and after undo, redo should be the same. So we should say after undo, redo dot should be after first. I know this is Chalks. Welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. Walkson, I also not sure if I said welcome in, but thank you for the hat, Walkson. Did I miss a hat? I feel like I should have. Did I miss someone's hat? Let me know. Yeah, these when we perform this do. Yeah, so there's an interesting thing that's happening with our undo and redo. Which might be okay. It could just be that our redos, we have like a undo redo system and it maintains these things for us. If I run this code, I think we're gonna fail here. I don't know what to call this thing. Oh, it passes. I'm surprised this works. I'm surprised this works because it shouldn't be modifying. Oh, it does work because we passed in the new board. Yeah. Okay, so this does work as long as we maintain it this way. Okay, so this makes me happy. Well, in my mind, there's an issue, but as long as we maintain the propagation of this modified board along the way, I don't understand why this works. Because our board should be being modified when we do this. First do, second do. Haverly, hope you've been well. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the stream. Do, undo, undo. This is like independent. But it's because we're modifying that one. Okay, so apparently this works. Yeah. What's wrong in coding two BIL if statements? What is a BIL if statements? Oh, what's wrong coding 2 billion if statements? I mean, you know, you look, wrong, right? Programmer sanity is often, you know, when I'm programming, I often program for programmer sanity. I want myself or someone else to be able to handle it. That too, your CPU won't be too happy with it. Handle several handle undo redo. All right, so it should be able to handle an undo redo here. All right, so this feels a little bit weird. So we did 1, 2 changes, 1, 2 changes. We perform an undo on both of those changes and redo the first one. Let's call this board data after second. And then, okay, so when we do 2 undos, this should be board data. Okay, we're gonna call this after first undo, after second undo. Okay, so here we can do, we want to say after second undo dot should be the same as after first. After, oh sorry, this should be after first undo. After second undo dot should be an empty board. Okay, so we did two things. We're gonna undo both of those. Okay. This would be after first redo. After first redo. And maybe I just called it first redo. Should be after first. Okay. Board data. Second redo should be first dot, second dot do. All right, so this is like the order of events. Okay. So now we're gonna say after first undo should be the same as after first. After second undo should be the same as the original board. First redo dot should be after first, and second redo should be after second. There we go. I want to make sure that the order of events here give us all the same things back. That said, these references are going to be interesting. The undos here should be returning. Okay, let's try. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Line 69. After first undo should be the same as after first, but after first is actually returning like a modified board, so it's not actually the same. So it's like still these things are different. So I believe the simple solution for me could also do under test. I think what I want to do is have this actually return a modified board. Original board dot copy. That's what it's copy original, missing an L. But I think we'll pass now. Yeah, there we go. All right, so the modifications made things sticky, a little bit of an issue. So we are gonna do this in this way for it's a little bit more work, but I think it makes things a little bit safer. All right, and if we find this becomes a major performance issue, we may end up refactoring it, but I don't think it matters all that much. I don't think it will matter on a modern computer. Okay. Get status, get add. I should move into where I'm editing so it's not applying it to everything. Although it's in between my tests, I don't know. What? Just like an end, a space. All right, do a commit here. This was a fix. Implement copy on do/undo. There we have it. All right, let's add this into our editor. So the idea being that our select or add create tiles tool. This should produce a command and send it to our board editor. So my board renderer here is rendering it. I'm actually thinking we need to have a reference to the board editor. Board editor.razor here. And we're going to keep our list of edits here. Our list of changes, our commands, our undos and redos here. And then we need to be able to send these back and, you know, update our actual board and have that cascade through. Yeah. So for my tiles tool, I actually think rather than having this be a board renderer, I want my board. We need the renderer as well to make this a little bit easier. Oh no, this is okay. I do need that to send, so it needs another, okay, so an additional thing I need is my board editor here. Either that or a command, like an action that lets us insert a command. Editor. And in my editor, I want to have a function that is apply commands. We just call it apply. And this has a, we got to add a reference here to our editor. Let's go into our solution. In our solution for our web, not our solution, but in our project here, our web editor, this has a dependency on our editor code here. So this is our editor. All right, so we need this. And our editor is going to have an I board edit command. I board edit I. What did I call it? I board edit command. This is interesting. Commands. Okay. Probably want to go ahead and add this into our imports. There we go. So we have a thing, an apply. It's going to take this in and it's going to perform this action. The simple thing to do is going to be have our board is going to become equal to our command dot do. And then we probably have to call state has changed. We'll try it without state has changed first. So our create tile tool is coming in our editor. Our editor, rather than having these create empty tiles now, we have an editor. We have to create the command. We have to create the command. So we're going to have a new double check the name here. Create tiles command. Create tiles command. Calling an action might make more sense here. Command. And this needs the board that we're going to be modifying. So this happens to be editor dot board. Does it not have a board on it? private, it may make sense. Okay, I think this makes sense to make, we're gonna refactor here. We're gonna make this public. We're gonna adjust it in this way so we can read it but not write to it. Because we need access to it, editor.board. And then the bounding box here we're gonna do is going to be a new bounding box. This is just like if we do a single click, this would be a bounding box at position with a width and height of 1. Okay, and then we'll do our editor.apply, and we're gonna pass this up to our editor in this way. Similar down here when we do a drop, we're gonna do this, but rather than doing it this way, we actually have our selection. We're just gonna pass the selection this way. We're gonna let our editor actually do it. So we actually apply these commands this way. Productivity, what a great name, Productivity. I would like to say thank you for following the captain, Coder, and the crew. Productivity, what a fabulous name. Welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. So let's look at this apply. It's gonna do a do here. Let's run it. Let's see what we get. It's gonna open up my web browser. Oh, there's build errors. Something weird going on. I was complaining about my, one of the reasons I decided to switch to Visual Studio, one of the reasons I tried to try Visual Studio is IntelliSense was giving me issues in Visual Studio Code. And I thought it was a Blazor. It seemed to happen with Blazor. I only see it happen with Blazor. I thought it was a Visual Studio Code thing, but I seem to be getting the same types of things with Visual Studio as where I don't see these until I go to try and do something. And then they come up, and then sometimes I can't, they're phantom, can't get them to go away. Create tiles tool. Okay, so now we have to pass in our editor. And I think I'm gonna make this be a cascading parameter. Cascading parameter, editor required, public required, board editor. This is the editor that's surrounding us. Okay, and so we should get some errors here. Productivity says, may I ask if you have ever made content on VR game development? I have not. I have not. Do we have anyone in chat who does VR game development? Yeah, I personally have not. Some really cool, I've seen some really cool stuff, but I haven't done it myself. Now, up in my editor, I need to propagate this through. So into my board renderer, I'm gonna create a cascading value. And I'm just gonna propagate my editor down to these things here. Like so. So we should, let's do a build again. I think this will propagate it down, we'll find out. At the very least we should build. Now adding tiles. Did that launch somewhere? Hang on. Did it just, okay, so it's launching, I just didn't notice. Okay, so but is it just because my state hasn't changed, or is it actually not adding those in? I think I might have to call state has changed, which is a little bit annoying. Let me check my console, make sure there's no glaring red. Yeah, nothing's coming out here. Swap that in. Okay. All right. So now we're doing it with my commands. The performing do's, I should be able to add an undo button. An undo button to undo the commands. And then I want to add in Control Z, Control. So let's add just real quick. So we have apply. When we apply, we actually need to save the commands as well. So like I said, we're going to use 2 stacks, one for our undo. It's going to be our series of undos we can do. And then I'm going to have another one for our redos. When we do an undo, it pushes it into the undo, or sorry, the redo stack. So let's add in 2 buttons here. Let's add 2 things: public void undo, public void redo. Yeah, productivity. I'm building a web, a tool for creating our maps that will run in the web. All right, so this is the tool we're building for creating our maps. My end goal is to create a map editor that will allow me to make maps that look like this one. All right, so this tool, this game is inspired by this board game here. It's a board game here called Descent that I love. Come on, focus. Focus, there it goes. So my goal is to build a tool where I can make maps like this to do it. Yeah. What does it run on? When you say what does it run on, my game, it's running in the web. It's built using C#. The web editor is using Blazor and .NET, so it compiles to WebAssembly, and the code's written in C#. The thing that's going to actually run the game, I haven't decided if it's going to be a web browser game or a desktop game. Part of me that doing this has been wanting to learn how to use Blazor for web dev, because I've dabbled with it, I've done a little bit of toying with it, but it's never been a strong point. It's been a weak point of mine. Oh, does the dot cam come off? There we go. Oh, it did come off. It's a very, very weak point of mine. I think making this game run in the web browser would be really fun. That said, in the past, I've used Unity quite a bit. We might be able to do it in something like Godot or another thing. We might do a Raylib project. I've had a lot of fun with Raylib. You can actually find the source code here. And this was inspired by a Game Jam game we made over here. So we made this game, and it was a tactics-based, there was tactical combat in it. So we had this grid-based combat here. And so I enjoyed doing this so much, we're expanding this out to be a fully fledged, like a full-fledged game with an editor. People can make maps, customize it, that type of thing. And so this is the board editor we're building right now. I'm implementing undo, redo on it right now. So right now, if I draw something, I can't undo it. If I add things, I can't undo, redo. So we're gonna make an undo and redo ability. That's what we're doing right now. So we've implemented a command for drawing right now. Just for web, or does it wrap it as a web app? Do you build it for any other platform? Right now, it just builds as a web application. That said, we could do .NET Blazor Maui hybrid. There's this tooling, I haven't used this either, but this would allow us to make it so it's a standalone, it runs in the web, runs on Windows, and runs on Android right now. My guess is eventually they want to expand this, I don't know, to run in other places. Oh, this tutorial is just showing us these. I actually think this would run fine on, you could get it to run on Mac as well, and Linux probably. That said, I've never done this, but it might be fun to do it as a Blazor hybrid. I don't know how hard it'd be to migrate it to that later. I don't know. Yeah, so I actually built a whole website. This website's a little bit dated. So when I was first learning C#, I'm a computer science teacher. I built this website using Blazor. So the whole back end of this tool for teaching C# is written in C#. So originally I did it, I did this. This was my original use case. And so this is actually running with Blazor on the back end as well. C# compiled to WebAssembly, this whole website here. This website needs some major overhaul and updates though. It's a little bit crunchy, is what I'll say. That said, I'm having a blast with this. So my idea here with my undos and redos is, does your markup also live in C# files for this website? Yeah, so this is a little bit, it uses what's called Razor templates. So it looks like this. Here, let's go look at the source code real quick of this website, captaincoder.org. Let's go find the C# website. It's a little bit easier to see. Intro, let's look for intro to C# site. Okay, so let's take a look at what this code for this, let's just go to our home page here. Let's look at what this page looks like in the source code. All right, so if we go to pages, and I believe it's just our I'm surprised there's not a home page here. Getting started. Where's the home page? Shared pages, activities. All right, let's go look at, we'll go look at ASCII art. It looks a lot like HTML, but it's a Blazor template. So I have this thing called a section here. Let's go look at this page. We can put it side by side. ASCII art. This page here is this source code here. So the markup here has things that let us do more interactive stuff. So for example, I've written this thing down here. Let's look at this section here. Or down at the end, I have sort of these activities. We click next, we click next, we click next. This thing here is written as this component I call an adventure. All right, so an adventure here, we have a portrait, we have some dialogue. So I define this thing like this, and then there's a C# file that manages how the next button transitions through it. Conrad Moy, have you met Conrad? They have followed me today, you know, Conrad, you're great, you're cool, you're awesome. Welcome to the crew. Thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, I've had a blast with Blazor. I'm not great at web development, so this project is forcing me to learn modern, what I'm calling modern web development. I've done a lot of older web development. Okay, let's add in undo, redo buttons here. And keep the questions coming. Feel free, if you have more questions, let me know. All right, we're gonna call this our undo. It's gonna call undo. Okay. And then this one's gonna call redo. All right, let's save that. We'll do a build. Okay. So we should get an undo redo button. Oh, feel free to interrupt. This whole stream is dedicated to learning and coding and growing. I like when people ask questions. I like when people backseat code. It helps me learn. It helps you learn. Everyone benefits when you stop and ask questions. So don't hesitate. Don't feel like you can't start. So we have these buttons. I need to make undo actually perform a thing. Part of me feels like I might need to, it might make sense to separate this into a different class called like undo redo stack. But I'm going to do it this way. Private stack. I'm gonna make this a read only. This is a stack of board edit commands. We're gonna call this undo stack. And then we're gonna have our redo stack like this. So the idea being when we do an undo, or when we actually perform a command, when we apply a command, we need to take this command and we need to add it in. Thank you for the whoa, Mars. Thank you for the whoa. We're gonna take this command, we're gonna add it to our undo stack. This command, all right, so we're gonna add it in. We're gonna perform it. One thing we have to do is our redo stack needs to get cleared. Whenever we do a new thing, it has to clear the redo stack. So you can't do, have you ever done that where you like make an edit? All right, so if I were to delete this and then I undo, and then I undo, it lets me undo, but if I delete it, do some new stuff. Now when I undo, oh, it's smart. This is smart. This is a smart undo. Is that what I would expect it to do? Undo brings that back. More stuff. Delete. Undo, undo, undo. Oh, this is using something smarter than what I was planning to do. Interesting. So like we need commands for we need like a command for undo that gets added to our redo stack. Productivity says, I'm blown away. So just to be clear, the Razor file don't spit out static markup on the server. No. Interactive things like collapsing a card or whatever can still be handled in C#. Yes. It is doing it with WASM, WebAssembly, so you don't have direct access to the DOM, right? So You have to be a little bit careful with how you do it. But yeah, you can make those direct changes. I can show you some more examples of it if you'd like. For now, this is what I'm going to do with my redo stack. All right, what I'll do is I say if undo stack. My undo redo is more complex. Needs to be more complex than I feel like this is. An undo actually creates a thing that gets added to our redo stack, or something. All right, hang on. Undo stack dot try pop. All right, this is gonna do an out iBoard edit command. Apparently it keeps going board with a U. I don't know how that keeps happening. Command. Okay. Is it saying that this needs to be a question mark? Yeah. All right, so we're going to try pop here. If there was something in our undo stack, we can do command dot undo. Like this. It's going to produce an undo event. And we need to set our board equal to the board that undo produces. And now this command gets added to our redo stack. Redo stack dot push this command. Redo goes the opposite direction. It says if redo stack, if we check to see is there anything in my redo stack. If there is, our board becomes a thing that we do here. And then we push this onto our undo stack. So this will swap them back and forth, back and forth. When we do something new, we actually clear out our redo stack. You don't want to be able to perform a redo after you've made a modification. I don't think so. So I think our redo stack gets cleared when we do a fresh command. I think that makes sense. Let's try this. Conrad says, what an intro. We use Model View Controller primarily at my work, and this seems like a good place to learn some new stuff. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. Glad to have you here. MVC is a very common pattern. Can be very good if you have complex UI stuff going on. All right, so let's draw this in. Undo. Redo, sweet. The only commands I have right now are when I'm doing these draw things. Let's try drawing a bunch of stuff. Drawing over. Redo. Undo. Sweet. Okay, our undo and redo is working. Can we bind this to keyboard? I don't know if we can. I have no idea how to do that. I feel like this might be a time where we have to do JavaScript interop, which I've been avoiding. I've been wholly avoiding on it. But we do have an undo redo button, which is nice. The next thing we'll have to do is we're going to have to add in commands for all the other actions. So right now, this command isn't part of our command cycle. So we shouldn't ever modify the board directly. It should essentially only be done through undos and redos. We probably also want to limit the length of our undo because it's going to start taking up a lot of memory in the web browser. That could be bad. I don't know the consequences of that. INI JSON, welcome to the stream. INI JSON, I would like to welcome you to the crew now. INI JSON. Well, welcome to the stream today. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you'll stay a while. Welcome to the stream. I love that you are here. We also got What If Google? What if Google? Have you met What If Google? Have you met them yet? What if Google? I haven't met you, but welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. And Fix It 42. Thank you so much for the raid. Folks, if you don't know Fix It 42, go check them out. Fun stream over there. Give them some love. Hit that heart. Fix It, how was your stream? What were you working on? Tell us all about it. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Glad you're all here on this beautiful day. Okay. I want to see if I can bind Control Z and Control Shift Z to something. So I don't know how to do this in Blazor. My thought though is to add it to our editor content here. On key, yeah, so on key press. Okay, so we do have bindings for this. On key press, we have a keyboard event handler. Keyboard event, we need, all right, so this is gonna be handle keyboard. So I'm gonna write a method called handle keyboard down here. Public void handle keyboard. It should take in a keyboard event args like this, and we want to do if args dot control and args dot key. Even about a string. Do we have meta key? Can we get? I want to know what key was pressed. Is there not a key code on this? Let's go look at this class. Fix it if you got it ready to run, no worries. Code, key is just a string. I was hoping we could get a key code back so I don't have to do anything fancy. It is just a string. The key value of the key represented by the event. If the key has a printed representative, the attribute is there. Though it's undefined. Code holds a string that identifies the physical key being pressed. The value is not affected by the current. So I'm curious, the cross-platform, right, cross-browser stuff associated with this. I wish there was. It's weird that it's a string, not an integer, which is a little bit interesting. Yeah, let's do a little test here. Console.writeLine args.key. Or let's look at what the best way to do it. Blazor handle Blazor check key pressed. Thank you, productivity. I appreciate it for that help. Thank you so much for help points. Add 200. I think I gotta put your name first. Productivity. Tab complete. Boom. Thank you for the help. Ooh, this is nice. This is nice. Okay. I should convert this into an enum at some point. Yeah. What is interesting, you can use Blazor way to do it. Check string every time the text is changed. Formatted this key list. Now when you get your keyboard event args, keycodes.try get value. Okay. I want to convert this to a enum as well. I'm gonna still this. Practical! How you doing, Practical NPC? Welcome back to the stream. How you been? What have you been up to? I feel like I haven't been to your stream in several days. Been busy. We're gonna add this into our board editor, web editor. Let's create a folder. This might even need to be in common, but let's create a folder here. All this common. It's going to be our key codes. Okay, we'll do a public static class key codes. Like this. Let's make this a public static key codes get. Oh, it doesn't want to name it. We'll do codes like this. So at least we can use it a little bit. I haven't worked on Mechanically Challenged. I've been busy too, but the streams have been fun. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I haven't done I haven't done an implementation of Mechanically Challenged. I put it out there for you guys to do. For you guys to do. Folks, if you guys don't know about Mechanically Challenged, be sure to go check it out. This month is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit tricky. I should do it. I've been busy. I've been scared of it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Mechanically Challenged. Be sure to check out Mechanically Challenged, everybody. You could have a chance to win. You could win. We're implementing slopes and loops. Fortune favors is hard. Yeah, I regret a little bit making it this way. Yeah, so June 1st, Mooniz and I will be going through solutions, and I'm wondering if Mooniz implemented one as well. I have some ideas on how I would do this, but I haven't done them. All right, yeah, I didn't implement it. We're gonna copy this in here. So I want to get the key Z. It was mechanically challenging indeed. Right. So I think I want to make a enumerated type.
What?
As well. Maybe I should call this key code instead of codes. Public enum key code. And I want to do this. I'm surprised this doesn't exist already. We're gonna do this. So we're gonna see if we can use the multi-cursor technique. See if we can use a multi-cursor technique here to if I do an indent. All right. See if we can get the multi-cursor technique here to help us out. All right, we're gonna try multi-cursor technique. I'm gonna scroll down so I can see where the end of this is. Oh, there's a lot in here. All right, multi-cursor technique. Here we go. Backspace. All right, control forward equals boom, enumerated type. There we go, we did it. Multi-cursor technique for the win, everybody. Multi-cursor technique for the win. All right, now we have our key codes as an enumerated type. And we can now when we convert it, we get the enumerated, we can get this back. If I do key code here. Yeah. Oh no, it didn't like that. I thought this was gonna be good. JD, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here, my friend. So glad to have you here. All right. We need to add in a cast on all of these now. Can I build this up as a for loop statically? I don't like using the integer here. So I want to use this enumerated type, key codes like this. And I think I can actually do that without a lot of issue. All right, so I think I want key code like this. So I think what I can do, also folks, if you guys don't know JD, go give him some love. JD does Deb, JD does Godot, JD does awesome.
Like you're talking with
things.
Captain. Let me see if I could do my Captain impression. I am not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the Captain.
So I want to have a method here. Public static key code extensions. And it's going to do the following. It's going to say given a key code, given a to key code, given a keyboard event arg, give me the key code back. I think I could do args.code Is that right? What we're doing? Let's look at what they have. I lost the link you sent me here. I don't know why I closed it. So we can do code, yeah, code here. Dot, so I want to do enum dot get value. Well, it only has get values. Get values here. Enjoy your lurk, JD. I was hoping I could do get this from a. Oh, I can do this. I can do a try parse. Try parse here. This is gonna return a key code, and we're gonna try parsing this. Yes. Okay, so we gotta do it a little bit differently. Given the string, so be an out key code results. So try parse bool ignore case. Yeah, let's do a true. We'll ignore case. Is it saying it's not a no question mark on it? All right, so we're gonna say if this can be parsed into an enumerated type, we're gonna return the results. Otherwise, it's like, should we throw an exception saying invalid key code? Maybe. Or should we just return like -1? It feels like we should throw a maybe we should have an undefined, and we return undefined like that. We get the -1 back. The problem with this is we lose the original information, so we don't know what it is. I think I'm going to throw an exception here. I could also just do enum.parse and let that exception come through. Like this. And say this is a key code. I think I'm going to do it this way. To key code. Or as key code. No, it has to parse it, so it should be to key code. Pull it out. All right, so this gives me the ability to do the following. Let's check out what productivity suggests. Yeah, we could do it this way too. Yeah, so the way I've decided to do it is I don't have to actually look it up in the dictionary. I'm going to rely on my parse method to do it for us. I think this would work just fine. All right, and then I could do a try get on it. I really like the solution I have here, and if it ends up being slow, I have this 2 codes here, and I like that I can just do enum.parse, and it will pull it out here. And I'm gonna try. Yeah, so this may actually end up being faster. I don't know. I don't have to construct this dictionary. So one thing is I don't have to construct this dictionary. The benefit is I can use this built-in parse here. One of the things that's nice is I get to ignore case now. So before, if I wanted to ignore case, I'd have to do some extra work that basically converts everything to lowercase and then passes it in. Maybe I shouldn't ignore case, I'm not sure. And then the nice thing here, and I could have written it sort of the same way. Where's my handle? Oh, this is my tile edit. Hang on, I wanted to find this. So I don't know that there's a better way, one way or the other. This one I don't have, in the version that I've written, I don't have to build this dictionary. That's the main difference. The parse may or may not actually be slow. I don't know how fast the parse is. I think on modern systems, it's not that big of an issue. But what I can do now is say if control key is pressed and args dot, what namespace did I put this in? Probably web editor common. Let's go into our imports. We gotta add this here into our imports. Did I answer your question? Feel free to say, hey, you didn't answer my question. Really, right now, it sort of is coming down to LMNOP. So yeah, this would go here, I believe. That's interesting. In our board editor, args.to key code. Saying it doesn't exist. Is this a real error? Does not contain addition to T code and is not has no excess. Public enum key code. I want to write the code. Oh, I need to do this here. I need to make this an extension method like this. Yeah. So I don't actually think it matters that much. So we're gonna say to key code is keycode.z. I could have done this. This code actually doesn't change, right? But I like how simple. So more than anything, I like how simple this method is. My to key code is a one-liner now. If I'd done it using the dictionary, I have to like construct the dictionary, then I have to look into the dictionary. I like how small the code is. Less code is usually better. We could add the complexity for performance reasons if necessary. I don't think we need that though. So now I can say if we're holding control and we click Z, then we are gonna call undo like that. You can also do if args.control key and args.shift key and args.to key code is key code.z, else this will be our redo. All right, I don't know if this will work. Let's try it. Napalm Codes, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're having a beautiful day on this beautiful Wednesday. How you doing, Napalm? Every key code is just a string. Yeah, that feels weird. That's a JavaScript thing, I think, though. So I think they're emulating JavaScript by doing that. I was just surprised that this wasn't built in. All right, let's close that. All right, Control Z is doing nothing. I'm not getting any keyboard inputs. There's no keyboard inputs coming here. So the question comes down to like, where do I put this so it's happening? Is it because I've clicked somewhere else? Handle keyboard. I'm getting no key presses. I'm not seeing it. I have it coming through here. All right, so I was worried about this. I don't know where to put this. Yeah. I wanted to put it on editor content because that's like the whole thing. Just got back from Penn State volunteering. Very cool. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. What were you doing for the event? Little beat, but it was good. That sounds great. I always love working with young people. You know, that's my full-time job. I work as a teacher with young people. I have a blast doing it too. All right, let's see. Blazor, key on, key press. See if we can see an example. How can I trigger a key event to action? On key press. On key press is fired only for character keys on key down. Will fire for all keys pressed. I found some explanation on that here. Ooh, maybe we need to do it on key down. Send that here. No, I'm getting nothing output here. Is only fired. Event handler. I don't want it. I want it on a div. On a div here. Okay, so this is like on an input. All right. Handle keyboard laser on key press div without using an input tag. There's still someone who wants a solution. I think now in .NET 5 you can achieve this in Blazor without JavaScript to set the focus, and tab index is important. When you lost focus, you set focus on another element will not work. Okay, so there's like a focus thing that needs to happen. We need to set the focus on our div here. Okay. My bud wrote the software for managing the presentation and scoring of them, so I was up there in a technical support capacity. Gosh, it's still really cool. That's awesome. So this is why I was worried I might have to do some JavaScript interrupt. Let's see if we can do it in this way. So we don't want to lose focus. So on key down, tab index 0, test ref. So we need a reference to our div here. All right, so let's add in a reference equals editor content. All right, so we'll create. What would be the type of this thing? It would just be an element reference, private element reference, editor content. All right, it can be like this. Yeah, so productivity. Yeah, I was thinking that was the case. Thank you for verifying that. Is this build? All right, so on after render. So on after render, this would be our editor content. Let's look at editor content dot focus. There's no focus. There is no focus. Test ref. Set focus and tab index is important. Let's do tab index 0. Tab index equals 0. Did I set this wrong? Element reference. Element reference doesn't seem to have focus async. Editor content dot. Oh, value dot focus async. That's what I have to do. Oh, this must be a struct. Is that what's going on with it? Yeah, so that's a struct. All right, so let's just do it this way then. All right, let's see if this will work. There we go. Now we're getting keyboard inputs. I'm wondering if I click on buttons, do I continue? I do. Okay. Now we're seeing, it's interesting that it fires. I'm worried that it's re-rendering this thing over and over. There was some weird stuff. Previously, with anytime an event happens, I'm wondering if it's actually re-rendering. Console.writeLine rendered editor. Just to see here. Yeah, notice so this is an issue. Anytime I press a button, the whole board re-renders. That's crazy. If I'm holding down control, notice it's like re-rendering everything. So the way Blazor does the events, when it handles these events, it like causes everything to re-render. So this is, that cannot be a thing that happens. I need to make sure that that doesn't happen. So I think I need to create a subcomponent that is like our keyboard input handler. That thing, if that thing doesn't have anything to draw, it's okay for that thing to re-render. If it's just a div, it's okay for that one thing to re-render. So that's super interesting. Because for now, I think it's okay. Just to test out if our Control-Z, our undo and redo is working, I want to do that. What's interesting is this will, it's on key down, on key press. All right, change to this. It is actually redrawing everything. You will see some crazy lag later. No, it's this entire component. This entire component is redrawing. I'm 90% sure. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let's test it. I'm not sure how I would test it, but it's calling after render async here. And this was an issue I was running into where when I was doing this drag stuff. So the question is, how could I get it to show? It is calling render edit. I'm pretty sure it's re-rendering everything. Our Control-Z and our Control-Shift-Z works though. So Control-Z and Control-Shift-Z. Control-Shift-P and then type rendering. Rendering. Ooh. That need to be re-rendered? So is it actually re-rendering? So I don't know. I actually don't know now. One thing I will say though, Smab, is I had to pull when I was doing this. That's interesting. When I was just holding the mouse here, the green flash are what is actually being repainted on the screen. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. That's kind of cool. I like that. This is new to me. Productivity. 250 points, awesome. When I click undo, redo, that feels smart. Okay. So maybe I'm wrong. It is calling render editor. Okay. No, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. We'll see if this becomes a performance issue pressing buttons. Right. That said, I'm probably going to have a whole thing, an input manager anyway somewhere. Because when I hit escape, right? So one thing I want here, that's interesting. One thing I do want is if I have a selection made, if I press escape, well, that was not what I wanted. If I press escape, I actually want these to clear out anyway. Right now, if I'm moving, I press escape, it cancels it. But I do want to be able to hit escape to clear out this selection. This is really cool. I'm glad I know about this tool now. Thank you so much for helping me with that. All right, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. All right, but we have our undo, we have our redo working here. I'm quite happy with it. All right, so we have undo and redo support for drawing things. All right, I think we can get in some additional stuff here. I don't think it would be, it actually is gonna be a little bit more work to add in these things. Pun Kujkun. Is it Punk Ujkun? I'm gonna go with Pun. I'm gonna call you Pun if that's okay. Pun, welcome to the stream. Let me know if you want me to call you something else. The dev tools are so sophisticated. Yeah, this is so cool. I gotta learn. I need to get a whole book on just debugging stuff, right? Yeah, I think a book showing me all these things would be super helpful for me, because otherwise I would never even know to look here. So thank you so much for that. Let me know, Pun, if you want me to, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, feel free to correct me. Love for you guys to feel welcome here. So feel free to correct me. I'll do my best. All right, so the drawing here, I'm gonna turn off that for now. JD, thanks for the update. Thanks for the update. Let's give you some for the update. Five JDs to you, my friend. Thank you so much for the update there. All right, I'm having fun with this. Let's make it, we gotta create a new command here. We're gonna create a command for our remove. We need to make a command for our move. Those are the three different things we can do. So we need to turn all these into command. Thank you for the sus. Thank you for the sus. Let's do a commit here. So we added in undo redo here. Yeah, the dev tools are really cool. I have so much. I'm always surprised by the number of files I touch in between here. Google's been releasing them? Yeah. Very cool. Let's see what we're missing in those. I'm assuming these are just new line. And remove an unnecessary .NET. Do we still build? Sometimes this removes necessary imports. Yeah, this is so annoying. Why does it do this? I think I need to add in a global usings. It thinks it can safely remove this because it's in my imports here. I think I need this. I also need to add in a global usings. Create tiles tool. Yeah. It's super annoying. Super annoying. Can I add in a global usings? Let's create a global usings and spell it correctly. And how do we do global usings again? C# global usings. I want to look at the Microsoft documents. Yeah, so this global using, essentially we want to do this because it keeps removing stuff. It wants to remove this. All right. Which is really annoying. All right, this .NET format, do we get away with it now? I hate to do that. So the question is it going to remove this? Yes. All right, so we need to add like an ignore this, don't modify this file. That's so crazy to me. All right, so we want to add in a disable warning, disable. What is it? Pragma warning disable. Warning enable. Please leave this file alone. Okay, thank you. So now there. So I happen to be using Edge Product Devity. Don't hate me. I'm new to it. I can't use Chrome anymore for a variety of reasons, but I've been using Edge. I tried Firefox. Firefox just made me sad. Edge is I hate to say it, but I've been loving maybe a strong word. I've been enjoying using Edge. So I hate to say it because people get upset, but it's true. It's true. I can't use Chrome because the latest version of Chrome doesn't disables the way you can do. Yeah, so we added in this. It seems fine. So you can't use ad blocker with Chrome. It's against they've made it against the way plugins can work, add-ons can work. And it's quite frustrating. This is a simple fix here. Chore rename board editor command. iBoard editor command. So their latest version, they have made changes to what extensions are allowed to modify in the DOM. And the change they made explicitly makes it against their use case to remove ads in the DOM. And so for that reason, I've decided that I don't want to use I don't want to use that anymore. We added a key codes. Feature implement key codes for there we go. And we're gonna add in a global usings. We need to reference this as well. Imports. All right. Chore add global usings and update project references. Okay, so then the final thing we actually did was, this is the actual undo redo. All right, feat, add undo redo buttons to editor, and update create. It's really two things here. All right. Use implement undo redo stack on board editor. Thank you for the hat. Let's get a hat added to the stack. Let's do it, Patrick. Welcome to the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Boom. Hat goes on. So it's coming. It's coming. I did actually get an update on Chrome that it seemed to work. Hey, Palm, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get another hat added to the stack. Let's get another hat. Boom. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 5 hats deep. Shy programmer, I'm sorry. You got 11 minutes to go. 11 minutes to go. So the next thing we want to do, Patrick with the bonus hats. Patrick with the bonus hat. Let's get another hat on this stack. Boom. All right, 6 hats. 6 hats. 6 times the coding powers. 6 times the coding powers. Thank you so much for the hats. All right, let's do it. let's do it to it. Okay. Now I need to add in some additional commands here. Thank you for JD. We gotta this summer. Once I have more time, I've been so busy. Once I have more time, we're gonna do something fun with the JDs. We're gonna do something fun with the JDs. All right. So I have this create tiles command. Let's do a remove tiles command. Do a remove tiles command. Remove tiles command. And I'm basically just gonna, it's gonna look an awful lot like this, but be called remove tiles. And something interesting, it's not a bounding box anymore. What is JD's? It's a currency. Yeah, it's JD's. It's, we have you have your JDs. You also have your points, and you have your demerits. Those are the different. I have a demerit. How did I get a demerit? Points and JDs are transferable. Demerits are non-transferable. Demerits are non-transferable. Redmer, welcome back to the stream. Hope your lurk was well. JD's got the 8 demerits. Let's go look at how am I doing this on my remove tiles tool. Oh, remove tiles is okay actually. Remove tiles is okay. All right, remove tiles because it's not a bunch of tiles. We could make it a bunch of selections here. Okay, so this one's not too bad. So the do here is just remove tiles, and then the undo is the same here. So remove tiles is pretty easy. We could write some unit tests for it. Not yet. Yeah. Shy programmer. We don't have this. Is what I was saying. This summer we're gonna add in some fun stuff with JDs. I don't have anything you can do at JDs currently. Yeah. You can flaunt them. You can use them to flex to say how many JDs. Show people just how many JDs you have. All right. So our remove tiles tool should now use a remove tiles command. Wait, what's going on here? Remove tiles command. All right, we're gonna do command. Really, this just becomes, we need our editor here. Board editor becomes editor dot apply new remove tiles command of our target or editor dot board and our selection. And we can't actually, it's not selection, it's new bounding box position 1-1 like this, and then this one becomes, what's interesting is I don't know if we need target anymore coming into this. Oh, we do, to redraw the selection. Distron, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. All right, so this I think will apply our remove tiles. Let's test this. So we should be able to undo and redo the remove tiles. We have build errors. There's no argument given to the required, because this now needs to have our editor passed in like so. All right, I'm having a beautiful day, Distron. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's a happy Wednesday. Any day I can wake up and code is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Especially when I get to code with you guys. You beautiful people. All right, so draw, delete, undo, redo. Sweet. So that was pretty easy. Let's Awesome. Awesome. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay. All right. So we have undo for that. The next one we need to do an undo redo for is going to be our move selection tool. The actual move here is interesting because on the drop, we need to create a command. This one is interesting and might require some testing. Thindle, how you doing, my friend? How you been? How is Zelda? Thindle, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a beautiful day. How's Zelda doing? How's that kitty cat? Folks, if you guys want to watch an incredible .NET developer and streamer, go check out Thindle.
Easy.
He knows what he's doing.
Pretty much whatever I want with her.
He's not trying to figure it out like I am. We've been going for a while. We might have to raid out of here.
Put you down.
I have to get ready for work. She's so spoiled. It happens. It happens. Snoring. Very nice. Very nice. So what are the things that we actually have to do to apply this? Get more Zeldas. All right, let's create a new command. This is going to be our move selection command. All right, so we have a move selection. It's like, what does move selection command do? What are the things we need to be able to apply this? Essentially, I want to be able to do, I want to be able to do these different things. I don't need to do this redraw if I'm applying it to the editor. But what inputs am I missing to be able to do this? What is parent, board add all, parent on success, mouse position? Yeah, there's some interesting things here. I think that's fine, the on success here. I think I just need these. And I might really just need these. I think this is all I really need. All right, let's try this. Let's go over to our move selection. I'm gonna paste this in here real quick like that. Really want to get this done. We're so close. I gotta take the dogs for the walk. So I kind of I'm rushing a little bit here. Bad things happen when we rush. Move selection command. Don't need these. Undo's nice. I like having done it this way. Okay, so what I can do though is rather than having this, what I can say here is the things that are coming in. Removing should be an IEnumerable. So what is the board we're modifying? IEnumerable of position to move. These are the things we're moving. And we need an offset. Add all selection. So this is kind of removing. I need something here removing. I need a selection. Selection, I think, is a board data. Or is that a bounding box? Bounding box. And then top left is a position. So if I have those things, I can do I don't know if I need okay, selection, steer new board, copy. New board, remove tiles. New board. So these are the things I need. Selection is actually, let's go look at what type is a board data. That's what I thought. Okay, board data, like this. Removing, and we might be able to calculate that here. So removing, I'm just gonna have this be calculated here. It's easier to calculate that here. Removing, so our move selection command so we have our move selection command. Our original board, we're gonna need our editor passed into this tool. Move selection command is our editor.board. The selection, our removing is that. And I need top left. Oh, top left came right after board. So this would be top left. All right, so this would be our command. And then we do our editor.apply command. Like this. We don't actually do the add or remove. We just calculate them, pass them off to our command here. I think this will work. Probably should have written a unit test for this, but I think we might have it here. Build errors, of course. And it's because we didn't pass the editor into this. And we got to propagate that down. So it's going to become a cascading parameter. Board editor. Okay. Does our move, can we undo, redo moves? And there's something interesting about our undo that I think we're gonna have to do. Still works. Still do that, undo. Notice this didn't move with us. But we can undo. So we kind of need to have it when we do an undo. Part of the undo needs to be like on undo. Yeah, so there's like a little bit of extra information that we have to do where we set the mouse, or we just clear it out. That's another option, is like if we do an undo, notice like weird, this is like really weird things are gonna happen right now. When we do an undo, the question is, should we reselect that area or just undo it? It would be simpler to just remove it. So the simplest thing I can think is in my move command. Let's change this to top left. It's interesting that refactor doesn't go through properly. Notice I'm getting kind of long on my inputs here. But I can have an action as on redo. On undo. Have a little action we pass in. The 2-hour sprint planning overkill, asking for a friend. Probably. Return original board. But we want to do this on undo. When we do this. We're going to say when we do this undo. We should have a build here. Yeah, so we need to pass in on drop. The undo is basically going to be called clear. That's annoying because I need to go up one more level where this has an on undo. And we propagate it down like this. The other option would be to pass in a reference to our clipboard. What is the warning? Oh, this is not a record. This is not a record. So this should be lowercase e. That's interesting. It's keeping a reference to these things. I didn't realize I could do that. We'll have one more error here. One, two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not a real error. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's because this file is not compiling. Okay, so here's the real one. This should call overlay dot clear tool when we do the undo. Well, it wasn't. It was just it wasn't update. Yeah, so it didn't. It was confused. It was confused. I'm not sure if this is. Yeah, it's not running. Let's send this through. Undo, redo. Undo, redo. I want that to clear that selection. Why doesn't that clear? Oh, I need to call just clear here. But it probably needs to redraw. I bet that's the issue, is it's not redrawing even though board data is null. Okay, sweet. Undo, redo works for each of the different things we can do. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So if we act, well, let's try some. Let's see. It stacks. I can keep going back. Oh, my figure, adding figures is not part of my redo. So adding a figure is not something that is part of my redo. Yeah, so like I can make a bunch of changes here. And then my undo, I can do them all like that. So right now it's infinite. We probably need to limit it to like 100 or something like that, maybe 50, because it's doing it's like copying state. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, but if we do a bunch of moves, we can undo all the moves and then keep going back and forth. Make it infinite. Use all the computer. So it is like making a whole copy of the board to do the undos and redos. So I think from a memory standpoint, it's a little bit expensive. One thing I wanted to do here is we had this issue. The whole, I mean, there's many motivations for the undo, but one of them is if I do this, we accidentally delete that section. I'd be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oops, I can undo this now. Okay. Just push up your hardware specs. Okay, undo redo is working. Let's get the commit in here. I'm quite happy with that. And then we can push that in, and then we got to get out of here. I'm gonna quick. Yeah, we gotta get. We gotta. Make sure we still build. Probably just added a empty line at the end there. Yeah, formatting there. All right. Remove clipboard. We need to do the figure, adding figures in. We need a command for that, but we gotta say that for next time. I gotta get going. Feat implements command for remove tiles and move tiles. Okay. So we have a basic framework here. Let's push this up. Let's get this merged in. I'm going to open up a new issue. We're going to merge. We're going to open up this pull requests. Didn't push? All right. We'll open up a pull request. We'll let this run and build. Implement, undo, redo using commands. All right, let's create an issue. We need to add a command. Figure fix. Adding figures to board is not done. This is undo / redo does not work with undo redo does not work with. Why is my brain work when adding a figure to the board? So we need to add that as a command. That should be a pretty easy one, but I want to get this added in and we'll do that separate. In fact, if someone wants to take, this would be a pretty, I think, a relatively easy issue for someone if they wanted to contribute to this project. All right, let's check this out here. Then we're going to raid out. So any suggestions, feel free to send in your suggestions here for people to raid. Otherwise, we'll find someone and we'll get out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. There we go. Our coverage is, our code coverage is dwindling as we add more features and don't test it. So I feel a little bit bad about that, but that's okay. We only have 28% coverage in our tactics engine editor. All right, that one's kind of sad and bad, but yeah, it's okay. All right, let's get this merged in. Oh well, yeah. Let's go and delete that branch. Get checkout main. Get branch. We got to do a pull. Reload. Sure. Your branch -D62. Oh, I should have been doing this from the command line. I forgot I could open pull requests and stuff. I need to practice that. All right, so we're up to date here. All right, we'll be back on Saturday, everybody. We'll be back on Saturday, so we'll be continuing our work here. Let's take a look at who we got as raid targets. We've got JD, we got Sorcery Store, we got Fullbox. We haven't rated Fullbox in a long time. Sakura plays retro games. Magatron's playing Onabi. Ooh, Onabi, this is Og 16th's game. Let's raid Magatron because Og 16th is making an awesome game. I want you guys to check it out. Onabi is Og 16th's game. A lot of people are probably watching build today. I'm probably going to check out as much as I can. All right, Onabi. Og 16th is an awesome developer. May Magatron's an awesome developer. Og 16th game is coming out, so we're gonna raid into Me Magatron so you guys can watch that game dev. All right, we'll be back on Saturday. So don't go anywhere. I mean, Sorry, so we'll see. You don't have to stay here until Saturday. So have a beautiful week. Remember to keep coding. Remember to keep growing. Remember to keep being the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. We'll see you Saturday. Have a beautiful day. Practical empathy, awesome. You know, if you need anything, just send me a message. All right, folks, set up a tent. That's right. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.